There's been at least 62,000 headlines written about it. And I'm, of course, talking about our newborn daughter's name. For the first 24 hours of her life, she did not have a name, I would say. We had an idea. We had discussed names. Her name is Finnley and Kelce. We plan to call her Finn for short. We picked her name when the time came to fill out the paperwork so we could get discharged.
For the first 24 hours of their daughter's life, Jason and Kylie Kelce didn't give her a name. Not because they didn't care, because they knew the entire internet was already trying to guess it. And when fans realized Taylor Swift might be connected to the choice, boom, 62,000 headlines later. But the truth behind the name isn't what you think. Stick around, because the story involves Taylor's godmother role, family heritage, and one of the smartest moves we've seen from a celebrity family when it comes to privacy.
Not gonna lie, I just had my baby 2 days ago. Literally 2 days ago. And she's here for her first episode of Not Gonna Lie. Look at that. Ta-da! That was good. Yeah, that's right. I'm officially a mom of 4. It feels really weird to even consider that if we went to a restaurant, we would say, Kelce, party of 6. I'm gonna spare you the other details because my next step was gonna be yes.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine having a newborn at home, and instead of stressing over wipes or sleepless nights, you're stressing over the fact that random strangers on Twitter are trying to crack your baby's name like it's some government code. That's exactly how the Kelce situation unfolded. Kylie even admitted herself that for a full day, this child didn't even have an official name. People thought it was last-minute forgetfulness, but it wasn't. It was planned. The Kelces knew if they dropped the name right away, it would explode, so they let the suspense ride out, and let's be real, it worked, because the internet went into detective mode within hours. By the next morning, fan theories were multiplying like gremlins. People were convinced Taylor Swift was sitting at the hospital naming babies like it was a spin-off episode of The Bachelor.
I told Queen Emma that I wanted to do this all the way back in January, and she was like, nah, we could just start maternity leave. And I was like, nah, Queen Emma, we gotta show the people. Do you realize it's crazy that you're taping this show right now? Yes, I do. Although it seems that I'm just unhinged, I'm actually self-aware and unhinged. Half the comments on our YouTube channel are just names with zero context. Queen Emma wrote this rundown with screenshots from social media. Queen Emma hasn't even seen the number of DMs that I have received.
Then came the even wilder idea. What if the initials of this name spelled out some hidden Easter egg tied to Swift's next album? Suddenly it wasn't a kid, it was a potential puzzle piece for the Eras tour. Twitter threads stretched for miles with predictions ranging from musical references to completely made up clues. It was like the entire fandom had turned into unpaid PIs. The jokes were constant too. People said Swifties were probably sitting in their rooms with chalkboards and string like TV detectives trying to see if Kylie's baby name matched up with the order of surprise songs on tour. Some even suggested coding the baby's name into a set list.
Well, I'm delighted to say this saga has officially concluded. And I warned you. So all the people who are going to be triggered by the fact that this name does not have 2 T's, she was baby girl Kelce there for a minute. And I considered just letting that one roll. It was going to be a very like Phoebe from Friends moment of like, oh, you named her baby girl. I think at 9 o'clock the morning we got discharged. I swear to God, the only thing I had was her middle name.
As if the poor newborn was secretly launching Taylor's next big project. None of that was real, obviously, but it showed how off the rails the speculation got. And this frenzy wasn't just limited to random fans with too much internet time. It bled straight into the mainstream. News sites ran with headlines non-stop. There were so many outlets covering the drama. It was almost like the name of one child was supposed to carry the weight of global importance. Numbers showed tens of thousands of articles were written about it, which meant this wasn't just fandom chatter. It was media obsession, and it blurred the line between pop culture and personal life. But Kylie pushed back on the circus. She made it clear later that naming a child isn't a public event. The Kelces set that tone deliberately. For them, the first day of their baby's life was about family, not about entertaining strangers. Yet because of who's connected to them, millions of people treated it like a Hollywood release date. It's a reminder of how thin privacy gets when fame wraps itself around every detail. Then finally the name came out, and here's the twist: it wasn't something designed to play games with fans. It wasn't a Taylor Swift lyric, and it wasn't a publicity stunt. The baby's name, Finnley, shortened to Finn, wasn't clickbait. It had weight. It carried family heritage, which is a detail that most people scrolling their feeds never stop to consider. Underneath all the wild rumors, the choice was deeply personal.
I love that I'm just roasting myself. Like, there's nothing we can do. The paperwork is filled out. They're on their way to the government. I don't know what. One of the other names we considered was Winifred. That is not the name of our dead dog. Her name was Winnie, and we had plans to call the baby Freddie. We considered Georgie, but I didn't like anything that got us to Georgie. No offense to anyone whose name gets you to Georgie. Like I've said before, I totally respect your opinion on the names of our children. You're allowed to have your own opinion. But I actually don't care what it is. It covers a lot of people in my life. My mom's middle name is Anne, although it's spelled differently, but we already have an Elizabeth, so she's cool.
Finnley also wasn't just chosen for heritage. It connected to Taylor in a way that was actually real and not just internet fan fiction. The name honored Taylor Swift's grandmother, Marjorie Finnley. That link gave her godmother role in the child's life a sincerity that had nothing to do with PR deals or showbiz partnerships. In other words, it wasn't an Instagram photo op, it was family. And that's the key point here. The Kelces saw everyone waiting to pounce on the name, and instead of handing it to the world, they made sure to keep its meaning locked inside their circle. They managed to turn something that could have been reduced to internet chaos into a detail layered with love and personal history. That's not easy when so many people want ownership over your story. But as wild as the name chaos got, it was really only the first test, because the internet didn't just want their baby's name. It wanted details on the engagement. It wanted every angle on Taylor's involvement, and it wanted to poke the boundaries of what this family would share. That next round was even more intense. The Kelces showed it's possible to live under a spotlight and still keep control. Kylie summed it up best when she said, "Our relationship is private between us." That's not a throwaway line. It's their game plan. They've drawn the line and dared the media to respect it. And you know what? It works. Privacy isn't some mythical unicorn, it's a boundary. Their choices prove that boundaries can double as statements. If celebrities with internet armies watching them can hold ground, then what's stopping you from setting one in your own life? Privacy isn't stolen, it's chosen.